Hello, everyone. This is Wayne Bennett with ECRM and Range Me, and I am here today with a very special edition fireside chat series called Women Behind the Brands. And I'm excited because this series is made possible by a support of the Emerson Group, which is a leading sales and marketing consultancy in the health, wellness, and beauty area. And I appreciate their commitment to the industry and the things we do to support and advocate for the advance of the industry. Today, I am joined by Tonya Douglas, who is the Senior Vice President of Omnichannel Merchandising at Giant Food, someone who many of you may know. And if you don't know, we're going to have a chance to get to know her a little bit better today. So Tonya, I appreciate your time. I know you're very busy, and thanks for joining the Fireside Chat.
No, Wayne, thank you for inviting me. I always love to talk about the business and especially how women can advance.
Yeah, that's great, Tonya. So Tonya, let's get into it. So the first thing I wanted to know is, in your career and in your journey of your career, can you maybe explain a little bit more about how you've overcome barriers to your roles in leadership?
Sure. I think that's a great question. And really, throughout my retail career, especially when I was at Safeway, I've encountered several what I like to call defining moments that significantly shaped my journey towards leadership. So I did have a very pivot experience when the company centralized all of their operations and appointed me initially as the sole category manager for deli food service, as they were trying to bring the divisions into corporate. So the role was great, it was challenging, but it really let me showcase my adaptability and my commitment to change. So, for about 5 months, I dedicated myself to mastering the systems, the processes, really believing this work was going to open up doors for me. And when the position became available, I applied, thought I did really good job on the interview. However, I wasn't selected to be one of the category managers they were hiring. And though extremely disappointed, I decided I wasn't going to let the setback deter me. I made sure I responded with grace, professionalism. I volunteered to train the successor, making sure that the organization was still successful. So even though it was difficult for me, it really helped me understand how leadership skills and emotional intelligence come together to define what was my authentic leadership style going to be. So 5 months later, though, I had a very unexpected turn in my leadership journey where I was offered the position of a manager of division operations, which was far beyond what my career goals were at the time. The responsibilities were much broader. I got a lot more visibility to senior leadership. So it really was the right job for me. And had I gotten the category manager, I would have never been considered for this other role. So that experience really is what fundamentally shaped my leadership philosophy. It really enforced that setbacks are oftentimes concealed as opportunities for more significant growth, and how you show up really is what's going to determine what your future looks like. So now I always encourage emerging leaders to view changes as stepping stones rather than obstacles. Every experience, regardless of your outcome, contributes to your professional growth. And I like to think success isn't defined by a lack of setbacks, but more by your responses to them.
Interesting. Interesting. I appreciate you, Tonya, sharing some of those moments and pivot points. And it sounds like emotional intelligence is very important.
Very important, which isn't always easy, right?
It's not always easy at all.
Not always easy.
So with those experiences, can you provide some advice to females who aspire to break into retail or advance their careers in retail?
Yes, yes. So As an experienced female leader in this retail industry, my advice to aspiring women is really that this field of work is dynamic and it's multifaceted, and we have to be impactful. So, foremost, I encourage you to really define your unique leadership style early on in your career, because understanding your core strengths and values will empower you to build a diverse, high performing teams that complement your abilities, but also fill any gaps that you may have. So, striving for excellence in your current role is super critical. That way, you have the foundation to lead once you move into that next role. And I think oftentimes it's missed when we're thinking about trying to advance our career quickly. So, the key principles that I've anchored my leadership style on are empathy. Leading with empathy, to me, that means genuinely understanding my team's perspectives and experiences, and really fostering a supportive, collaborative environment where everyone feels heard and valued. Accountability. So, instilling a sense of ownership and accountability within your team ensures that decisions are made carefully, but everyone is invested in the desired outcome. Authenticity, cultivating a culture of authenticity where team members feel safe to express their ideas, their concerns, build trust and respect with each other. I think that's really critical in this fast paced retail landscape that we have. Integrity, maintaining the highest standards of integrity is critical as it can set the tone for your entire organization. And then also clear communication. So, effective, transparent communication is really the glue that kind of keeps your team aligned and focused on all of our shared goals, which really helps us navigate all these complexities that we're facing when we have clarity and purpose for the group. But I also would say one thing that I cannot stress enough, especially as female leaders, we've got to embrace continuous learning. The retail industry is constantly evolving, and we're being driven by consumer preferences that are changing, technological advancements that are coming faster, I think, than any of us thought, and really these emerging market trends. So, staying informed will also help you be adaptable and relevant.
Yeah, no, Tonya, I think that's wonderful. And, one of the things that I always abide by is being a student of industry, because
Yeah,
it is changing so rapidly, and you got to be in the know, and you got to understand what those changes mean in your business. So I
I
appreciate,
really like the way that you worded that, though. I think that's great.
yeah, student of industry.
Student of industry. I'm gonna steal
Yes,
that from
no,
you.
no problem. My pleasure. So, Tonya, as a leader in the industry, I am sure that that comes along with people wanting to be mentored by you. Uh, and can you share a little bit about that and some of the strategies you find effective in being a mentor to people in your organization and maybe even within the industry?
Yeah. I love this question because I think mentoring and advocating for women isn't just a passion, it's a strategic imperative that I've built into my leadership approach. I'm super deeply grateful for the mentors and sponsors that I had in my career success. And so I've really made some strategic, measurable impacts in the way I mentor women, both in my organization and in the industry. So I like to kind of call it the triple impact mentoring effect: give direct guidance, give them network expansion, but also create visibility for them with senior leaders. So, by doing this, I really think it gives them an opportunity to showcase their expertise in these executive settings that they're not always in. I'm happy to say that I've had a lot of the women that I've mentored be successful. They've grown their career. And I think that not only comes with this triple impact, but also from sharing my own successes and my own setbacks as teaching moments. Because when I faced there was recently, I was given an opportunity to create significant organizational change, and I faced a lot of resistance. So I took that opportunity to walk one of my mentees through my strategy for how I was going to build allies and influence key stakeholders in this real world playbook, which I think really helped her when she was facing some experiences of her own. But I think that all women, specifically myself, shouldn't measure our ultimate success as just my own advancement, but also seeing the women that I mentor surpass even my own achievements. I always say that I'll be able to retire when someone that I've mentored becomes my boss. That's what true success will be to me. I have three that are well on their way to significantly surpassing any of my career successes that I've had. And I think that that's really, really exciting.
Sounds like you've done your job.
I am trying to continue to do my job because I'm passionate about our industry and I want the leaders of the future to just do far better than what we've done for our consumers.
Right. And they need to.
They have to,
They need to.
right? They have to.
Exactly.
It's so competitive.
Yes, yes. So Tonya, the next question I have for you is one that always interests me a lot, and we all deal with this, and that's the topic of work-life balance. As a business leader running a rather large retailer with lots of people reporting to you and your personal life and situation, how do you balance it? How
I
do you balance it so that you don't tilt on one side and it's a nice smoothing life?
And I would say, don't know if I've figured that out, but I'll tell you, I thought I had it figured out. So, through my professional journey early on, I've always realized that work life balance is complex. And I kind of had these bookends I created. I would start every morning at 5:30, do all my deep, deep thinking early in the morning. I would end my day at 6 o'clock at night. So then I could spend time with my family and in 2022, my approach to that being my balance was really tested because my husband received a cancer diagnosis.
Mm.
And so suddenly, my careful, crafted routine had to
Yes.
have an entire overhaul. And so during this period, that's when I really learned the adaptability that we have to face in our own and our associates' adaptability of work life balance. So I chose to take really proactive steps in having candid conversations with my leadership and my team about my commitment to certain medical appointments, to chemo treatments. My husband was 31 days in the hospital, and I was going to be with him every single day that he was in the hospital. And having this open dialogue gave me the room to really say, these are the critical assignments I need to be a part of. And here's the time, crazy night and day times that I'm going to work on those. Here's are the ones that I can hand off to other people and totally trust them and be open to giving feedback, but they really own it. And then here's are the ones that I really just kind of put on the back burner and was open with my leadership that these ones are just going to have to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh, so it really also taught me how to leverage technology. You can do a lot with Teams and Zoom from a hotel room, especially when your husband's sleeping or napping. Um, but the most valuable lesson for me in all of this is that the proper balance, work life balance, isn't achieving perfect equilibrium every day. Instead, it's really about making those conscious choices to align what are my current priorities of today, and then being thoughtful about planning the rest of the week or the rest of the days after that to accomplish some of the other priorities that you need to.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you sharing that personal story with us and certainly the framework around how to balance it all. It sounds
Yeah.
like you've really had firsthand experience in having to learn that rather quickly.
Quickly and thinking, yeah, I had it figured out for 25 years. It was working great for me. And
Yeah.
then boom. But
Boom. Right.
it does again then go back to my leadership around empathy. I now have even more empathy for people who schedule isn't just as easy to figure out and how to help guide them in work life balance as
Yeah.
well.
And I think, yeah, and I think a follow-up question to that would be the workplace priorities in support of women.
Yes.
What are some of those key things that organizations must have, or what are some of the things at Giant Food? What do you have, like, really you're excited about in support of women?
Yep. I really think that organizations need to implement a comprehensive framework around policies and initiatives that address both the practical and the emotional needs. Kind of think of it as a multifaceted approach that will foster an environment where women can thrive professionally, but also maintain this healthy work life balance. I think it comes with mentorship programs that aspiring leaders spend time with experienced executives to understand how they do it. Investing in professional development is also critical. You have to offer leadership training classes, skill building workshops, other learning opportunities so they can excel in their current roles and get prepared for the future roles. Um, I also think, alongside professional development, we have to have a strong emphasis on mental health and overall well being. Providing access to counseling service and wellness programs and fostering this culture of open communication will make a significant difference in supporting not only women, but all of our associates. So I think the key to the success, though, lies in the authentic implementation and accessibility to all women and all associates across the organization with these robust policy frameworks. So
Sure.
ultimately, supporting women in the workplace is not just policy. It also involves creating this inclusive culture where women feel valued, they feel heard, they feel empowered to help define success on their terms. And by adopting this holistic approach, organizations can create a workplace where women thrive personally, professionally, but also contribute to the organization's long term success and this broader goal of gender equality.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Tanya, for that. So, as the core consumer going into your stores today, women obviously are the core shopper. And can you share a little bit of your perspectives on the contributions women have made relative to product innovation and the importance of women in that dynamic?
Yep. Yes. Women driven innovation, I think, really have significantly impacted consumer trends, especially in grocery. They're the primary decision makers in households. They understand consumer needs and they really drive this creation of product along with experience that really resonates with a diverse audience. I think women have spearheaded technical advancements in retail, in with enhancing the shopping experience, or really through e-commerce platforms and these personalized recommendations. Their leadership has made shopping more accessible, aligning with the demands of today's consumer. So if you look ahead, thinking of female leaders in grocery, they really have immense opportunities to even drive further innovation. They can cultivate a more equitable marketplace by advocating for inclusive product design that reflects our diverse customer needs, leveraging data driven marketing strategies that make it to where we can really have that profound connection that the customers want through our targeted campaigns and personalized offers and personalized shopping experiences for them. And allowing women in these leadership roles to be responsive and forward thinking is really when diverse perspectives will shape the future of grocery and retail.
Yeah, no, obviously, I agree and support what you're saying.
You
And
definitely, and your organization definitely support women
yes,
innovating in grocery.
yeah, and Tanya, I don't know if you know this, but my entire team are women.
Love it.
I mean, every one of person on my team is a female. The leadership that report to me and the people under them are all female. And I have to tell you, they make me better.
Yeah, right? Because we all think so differently.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
And so I just wanted to share that to
I
give
love that,
look at it.
Wayne. I
Yeah.
love that.
So yes. Um, so Tonya, so here's a question I think many of the audience might like to know is, so for brands looking to work with Giant Food, what are some of the factors or considerations they should be thinking about as it relates to approaching the merchant team? What do they need to bring? What's important to the team to effectively grow and scale?
Yep. I would say to effectively partner with Giant Food, brands should prioritize aligning your offering and strategies with our customer value proposition. That's really the key to just is for them to demonstrate how do their products and initiatives deliver this exceptional value and enhance the shopping experience. So, some critical factors to consider are the product differentiation, so clearly articulating the unique benefits and distinguishing features of their product, the sustainability and community impacts of their products, provide this compelling evidence of your brand's commitment to sustainability and positive community engagement is a great way to get on the shelf. Promotional flexibility, so exhibit the promotional strategies and ensuring that they kind of integrate and amplify our marketing efforts. Collaboration with promotions can align to our goals and the product's goals as well, how they align. And then, kind of what you were talking to before, this innovation mindset. Show
Yeah.
us your dedication to innovation. Demonstrate how your products and your solutions respond to these crazy markets that are always changing and the customers' preferences that change almost day to day. And then, really, let's just be collaborative and let's talk together about this relevant product assortment and promotional strategies and how building a strong relationship with us together will really make sure we're committed to the customer and keeping the customer at the heart of all the work that we're doing together.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's very important. And a lot of brands that are women-led, they're emerging, they're new, and some of that advice is very important for them to know. So
And
thank
we actually call out women-owned companies on our shelf tags with our women-owned product as well to really help the customers also understand the diversity of the products that we carry.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Tonya, I know we're coming to the end. I was curious to know, and I think you've talked a little bit about it, a personal story that's impact or shaped your leadership. And I just maybe if you can revisit that, and I'm going to just throw in a slight curveball, but is there someone that a leader in the industry or within your career that's really inspired you in leadership? or
Yeah.
or someone even outside of the company, someone that you admire as a leader who you think it just exemplifies outstanding leadership capability.
Yep. No. So I'll share my personal story first, and then it ties exactly to the person that you're asking me to describe. So a pivotal moment in my life was really when I had to tell my parents at 15 years old that I was pregnant. I
Oh,
was the straight A student. I was targeted for law school. And
wow. Okay.
while my parents were really supportive of my decision to raise my son, they also made it very clear that I was going to have to be financially independent. They would put a roof over our heads, but beyond that, it was on me. So that really was the first time I juggled a grueling schedule. So I attended school from 8 to noon, then I worked from 1 to 10. I got to take my son with me to work, which was great. Would come home and then have to do midnight bottles, middle of the night feedings, all of that. And so that kind of taught me the work ethic part of what my life was going to be. And when I graduated high school, I didn't know what I was going to do. So I applied honestly for a job at Safeway because the benefits were great. And it was just me and my son, and I needed some really good benefits. But I immersed myself in the business, and that's when I recognized the endless opportunities in grocery and how I landed in grocery. And I got every certificate that was available. I signed up for every special project, and I observed the leaders around me and kind of deep into my career at Safeway, Joe Ennin became the SVP of private brands for Safeway. He came from Frito, had a long career with Frito. He's recently retired, but he is really the person I looked up to into how to think about the business completely different than kind of the normal, and how to lead people to do their best work by allowing us to fail. So he always gave us room to push to the edge, to fail a little bit and recover quickly, which gives you courage, but it also gives you pride that you don't want to fail too often. And so I think starting at such a young age and then seeing this truly innovative kind of go for it all leadership has really helped me understand what it means to truly empower your team to grow the business, but also grow themselves professionally.
Tonya, I really appreciate you sharing that story. That is a deep story and something quite personal, but I think that is aligned with the authenticity that you talk about. So
Yeah.
I do appreciate you sharing that.
No, thank you. It took me a lot of years to stop being embarrassed by it and just to realize that it's part of who I am. And I'm proud because it helped me become the leader that I am today.
Right. And several other life experiences too, which
Yeah.
pretty amazing. So Tonya, I know we're coming to the end, and so your vision, you've lived it, you've instructed upon it, you've mentored around it. Can you share a little bit more? And I see it every day with announcements of female leaders being announced to senior level C-suite leadership positions. It has been a remarkable evolution over the last number of years in terms of who's leading these organizations. So tell me a little bit more about like your vision of the future for women in our industry.
Yep. So I envision the future of retail. I see an industry that thrives on inclusivity and equity, especially in our leadership roles. We have to prioritize clearing the pathways for women and individuals with diverse backgrounds, ensuring that they have equal access to this coaching, this mentoring, these professional development opportunities. And I think to achieve this, as all organizations, we should really focus on two primary strategies: targeted leadership development. So design programs that specifically cater to the needs of women and underrepresented groups, so we can equip them with not only the skills, but the confidence to excel in these leadership positions. And then number two, mentoring and sponsoring initiatives, really establishing strong networks that connect all of these aspiring leaders with their experienced executives, but also giving them growth, guidance, and advocacy, knowing that the diversity of talent is how we're all going to really, really, truly succeed.
Yes, I would agree with you. I think diversity is very important on a whole host of matters. And Tonya Douglas, I appreciate the time today for your candor, your authenticity, your industry leadership and passion that you bring every day to the people who you work with and the people that you serve. I know you had mentioned to me you're on your way to a store, which is indicative of being a terrific operator and understanding how things get done. I have enjoyed our conversation, and thank you so much for the opportunity. I do want to thank the Emerson Group for their continued industry support on this series and many other things they do. And
thank you, Wayne. I want to thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to share my voice and share my point of view. And just thank you for clearly your mentorship in making sure that women have an equal opportunity to succeed.
Yes, Tonya, absolutely. And you mentioned it earlier, we do a lot to support women entrepreneurs and founders and emerging brands, and that is a platform that we enjoy quite extensively. So, Tonya, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. We look forward to connecting again soon at some venue or time, and all the best, and we'll speak soon.
Sounds great. Thank you, Wayne.
You got it. Thank you.